Hey everyone, I'm gonna continue working on this piece, and there is just a little bit something I want to address as far as like my own content and how I really approach these processes. I'm just gonna draw here and kind of think out loud. Again, looking for form shadows and keeping it simple, trying to reduce the amount of thinking I'm doing, and not get tempted to do any rendering. But this is what I want to think about. A lot of times when I get lost, when it comes to like banter for these videos and not really knowing what to talk about or how to talk, I think I have to remember one of the goals that I more recently thought about is that, I mean, in the past I was streaming on Twitch and I got so used to it, to having a conversation if a viewer was present. If a viewer's present and chatting in the chat, it's so easy. I mean, I did it last night. I did a little bit of a short Twitch stream. I had one viewer, but we were having a bit of a conversation the whole time, and he was helping me. We were feeding off of each other, and he gave me some good ideas moving forward for like content as far as like YouTube Shorts, TikTok Shorts. He gave me some good processes to do, like writing scripts, being prepared with those scripts, and taking B-roll whenever I get the chance, just taking footage that like is appealing to me, stuff like that, like helping me build good habits. And it was a great conversation. It's an older friend who I met on Twitch a long time ago, and he's been very helpful to me in as far as being a follower for a long time and always helping me bounce ideas off of each other, and that's great. And on YouTube, it's not like that unless I'm live streaming, unless I'm reading comments, unless people are actually commenting, which I don't really get very much because my YouTube channel is not very big. I don't get a whole lot of comments. I do like to reply to them all and have that conversation, but it's still not the same as that direct interaction that I was getting on Twitch. So how do I solve that? Now, I'm reading, one of the main books I'm reading right now is The Confessions of St. Augustine, and his book is addressed to God. And it's not like, I mean, what if I were to take all these videos and start addressing them to God? That would be quite interesting, that all my videos became a prayer. But that's not really what I want, right? I mean, God is not watching YouTube in the sense that he needs to, and that God is not looking for something to enrich his life on YouTube. God is not looking at my videos and asking himself, okay, how do I draw better, and how do I live better? I mean, God is the source of all good to begin with. So it's you who are listening to this, and you who I want to engage with, you who I want to have a conversation with. And if I can't hear your questions live, then I have to, I guess, address general questions that it's like, okay, I have to sort of guess, okay, what might the viewer be thinking? And establishing that relationship between myself and the viewer is a matter of like trying to engage even if there's no interaction. That's been hard for a long time now, transitioning away from Twitch, because it's easy on Twitch if there's someone in chat. And even on Twitch, I got used to staying quiet, not having that banter if there's no one in chat, and I would just stay silent, and then people would pop in and be like, hey, what are you drawing? So it's a question, a problem, I suppose, that I want to solve. Yeah. So I suppose the best thing I can do is think out loud on how I could do that, because here I'm focused on the excellence of the drawing. I don't want to lose that concentration. And how did Bob Ross do it? He talked to you as if you can do it. I believe you can do anything. And the structure of his program is he was guiding you how to paint, teaching you how to do it. Assuming you have, the tools. And for me, again, this is not just about art. What tools do you, the viewer, have to enrich your life already? You have your intellect, you have your education, you have your history, you have your, family history. We like to talk about that when we're doing like marriage preparation. I wasn't the best at that. Well, that's an understatement. I'm not gonna get into that. Um, but for you, I mean, I suppose I want to tell you that you can do it. I mean, Bob Ross, in the same way, wanted to encourage us, encouraging you to live rightly, live responsibly, live well. And that seems to be a big trend for me that I noticed. That, oh yeah, I was kind of getting at this in one of my earlier videos, where if a computing company allows people freedom to do whatever it is they please, and the programs and apps to do whatever it is they set out to do, then the next stage of freedom is like, okay, what do I do? So then we started, after like Microsoft and Apple and computers came to scale, and who knows how much they can still grow as far as like the hardware of those devices and that field can go. But after that, it's like, okay, now we have programs, Microsoft Word, and then websites, Google, YouTube, Facebook, the social media, etc. But now it's like, okay, those things are pretty much ubiquitous. TikTok, Roblox even. You know, kids have their online accounts, interact with, you know, other people and have that human interaction. But human interaction is a wonderful thing, but not the end in and of itself. It's like, what do you do with that interaction? Or maybe it is the end. Maybe it is an end. Maybe having that connection and deepening and fostering and cultivating that connection is a good end. I think perhaps it is. It's a good end of the line as far as why. Yeah, it's pretty good. So maybe that is an actual end of the line good. You know what though? My friend last night was telling me that, you know, it's really about telling my story, I suppose. Because I keep wanting to engage. Like when I was on Twitch, I was able to make it sometimes about the viewer. I would ask them questions. What's going on with you? And sometimes on YouTube I want to do that. But it ends up being a comment, and I reply to the comment, and it's not really that great. So I suppose the only way I can really engage people is to tell my story first. My story is sad and dark. If I were to really get into it, and there's things I can't get into, and I can talk about, you know, how I'm emerging from sadness and darkness still, and oftentimes still in the heat of it. Yeah. Is there? I mean, this is mostly a cylinder, right? So is there going to be a lot of shadow on this side? Sort of, yeah. Kind of coming down from the arm. Getting here. Getting here. I mean, we can talk about my story as an artist. No, you know, when it comes to my story, it's not about my history, but what's happening right now. That's my story. That I can't get into it any more than that. It would be difficult for me to get into it any more than that. I'm drawing this right now. This is a commission from someone I met at an anime convention. They have commissioned me a number of times now. Actually, I think 3 or 4 times, maybe more. Oftentimes drawing this. Their character is this one on the right that I'm drawing right now, with the horns and the elf ears. Yeah. But what more than that? That's the immediate, easy answer to what I'm doing right now. What more than that? I am trying to live a good life, trying to re-engage with my life as a Catholic Christian in the church, trying to live a Christ-centered life. What else is there about me? See, and then on Twitch, normally I'd be like, what do you want to know? And then maybe someone would type in the chat. But it's like, now I'm like, okay, I guess gotta figure out what to say. This type of banter is the stuff that I'm trying to evolve at. Might have mentioned this in a previous video, but I always feel like there's something to be better. I don't know how healthy that is for me. I know it's realistic because, you know, we can always be better at something. But is it healthy for me to always be thinking that way and kind of always be on edge and like, how can I be more perfect? Obviously, thinking that way all the time is probably not healthy. But having that growth mindset, improvement mindset is healthy, I think. And then just balancing that desire. And always understanding that my skills are a means to an end. A lot of circular thinking or repeating things from previous videos that I'm doing, and it's hard not to do that. I just have this always thinking out loud mode. Whereas other people on YouTube, they have a plan. They have this very specific story they want to tell. What is my story? I don't know. What is it? Well, I do know. And again, I have to get into this without talking too much about my personal life. It's a life of repentance. I mean, I can't go any further than that right now because there's so much to repent for. So much to try to make amends for. That's my current struggle. I'm going to use the smudge tool a little bit down here. Gonna maybe try to start creating some midtones. Get some midtones in there. I just want to be a good person, you know? That's it. Can you feel my inner turmoil? Like, I always feel lost. I always feel lost. It's like, what next? What is the next great idea? You know, it's, why do I need that? I already know what to do in life. It's simple. I've talked about it so many times. Like, okay, my purpose is set. I'm gonna fix this, I think, because I didn't really take too much into account the angle of the torso here. So just gonna try to rediscover these shadows. Keep it simple like that, probably. Don't need too much shadow, I guess. Yeah, I guess like that. Just keep it simple. And then what are we gonna do as far as like the stomach? Just like rib cage, very slight indications right there, I guess. Yeah, slight indications like that. We're getting to rendering now, I guess. Don't want it to be too pronounced. Yeah, something like that. Just let's just keep it simpler too. Again, don't want to over render, just don't want to keep it too pronounced, just very subtle shadows. Looks like we are starting to create those soft edges now. Maybe this is the story, just focus on the thing that I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Just make it. Let's make it good. Let's not overthink. Sometimes I have topics of banter and sometimes I don't. Let's just go with the flow. The path of greatest love. What is the most loving thing I can do right now? Just make this a good piece. Get paid, you know? And I should avoid trying to over render. I think this is like probably good enough, right? Yeah, I think this is good enough as far as shading goes. Yeah, okay, so now let's look at reflected light. So here, there's gonna be some right in here, I'm sure. There's gonna be some right over here. Bounce light, definitely bounce light here because the computer monitor is right there. There's gonna be some under here. There's gonna be some right under here. So pretty much we're taking the form shadows and then adding some bounce light where there might be some. So I think like over here probably. I want to stay in the shadow here. Maybe a little over here. So here, yeah, definitely under here towards the computer screen. So over here. Right under here. Finding bounce light, so there will be some right under here probably. Right under here. Just kind of finding it. Solidifying some of the shadows. And then cast shadows, I mean it's super dark. I might just use this for like really tight overlaps, like right in here. Right in here. Yeah, just up the contrast if there's any like really deep crevices. Right here under the skirt. Right under here under the sweater. Yeah, just like, I guess, building a little bit more contrast where there might be some in the shadow right there. And too much contrast will create like focal points that I might not want, so let's just take it easy on that. Okay, we do want generally the value to be different for the skin. So I think here's what I'll do. I'll just use the highlight color. No, but hold on. I don't want to use the highlight color. Because the highlight color is still going to be used for other things. But the skin in general should be lighter. So I think I will use this mid-tone color, but it's already a mid-tone. So maybe this in-between color we'll have to use for the skin. Or we can just overlay now. I don't know. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I think at this point we can try overlaying. Hold on, let's just get highlights in. Right there. Nose. Let's get highlights in. Eyelid, yeah, that's nice. Definitely on the horns, get a highlight in there. Hair will definitely get a lot of highlights in there. Where else? Nose, horns, eyelids. Maybe the leg here. Highlight, a little bit of highlight on the leg. Yeah, why not? I think the bounce light might show up like a little bit here under the hand because the contrast is a little strong. Okay. I think that's good. And then here on her, we'll do the hair highlights as well. A little bit of highlights on the braids here, probably. Here, other parts of the hair as well. Let's get some other highlights, like right over here. Okay, I think this looks fine. They look a little bit more sculpted. The highlights might be a little bit much on her hair, but we'll reduce that a little bit. A bit much on the nose, on the eyelids too. Reduce that a little bit. But yeah, overall it looks good. It looks a little bit more sculpted. Okay, now this is where we try overlay. So I've never done this before, and we'll call this color overlay, where I just use an overlay layer to color the piece. So here, let's try skin first and see what kind of color we'll use. Yeah, it is on an overlay layer, so we'll get in here. It looks like it's gonna do the skin color pretty well if I use a fully saturated color like that, and just get in there and go over the whole thing. And going over the grayscale, you can see there is a bit of shading there, but the contrast is not as strong as I would like it to be. So, we'll just finish the overlay and then I guess choose colors when it comes to the shaded parts. Because I guess the goal was like to do the overlay and then merge it and then finish, paint over. Here I should do a clipping mask. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, legs. Yeah, it's good that it does have the cast shadow down there. Just have to turn it like red or something. So yeah, it's preserving my shadows and highlights. That's good. That's good. Okay, so what color else do we have? Red. Crimson red for the coat, fading into a dark black into the fingerless gloves. Ooh, I forgot that she has fingerless gloves. Let's go ahead and draw those in. Fingerless gloves and nail polish. So let's draw those in. Let's take our time here. Again, no rush. Fingerless gloves. Nails. I don't always draw nails. Just keep it very light on the touch here. Fingerless gloves. Over here as well, fingerless gloves. Let's get those in there. Change the contour a little bit. change the contour very slightly. There we go. And then, yeah, fade into the black sleeves. Dark black, dark crimson. And then the design on her shirt has a symbol. I think we'll just paint that in yellow. Yeah, okay. We'll go blue. Yeah, it's like a royal blue for the hair. Super interesting. I think I should make this darker then, right? So notice, it's very desaturated when I draw into the grayscale. When I paint into the grayscale like that. So definitely need to, yeah, merge it and then just paint directly, right? So this is just I suppose it's just a way to start it off while maintaining those, yeah. Again, this is my first time trying this method and kind of understanding its nature. I do remember from watching the artist that things look a bit desaturated when you do it this way. And I can even go back in the grayscale now and fix something I saw. Huh. Is there a way to... I think you can squeeze to layer select, but that's okay. I won't use that. Okay. Back into the color overlay. I would have to make this into a normal layer in order to get the color back, though. That's the color, but we're doing an overlay, so I have to, I guess, keep the colors in a palette, I suppose. What color are her ears? Also blue, but a light blue. Light blue, pale light blue. So we're gonna get up here and do that. Actually, it should be lighter like this. Yeah, like that. Okay, so now we'll do the red coat. It's like a dark crimson. Let's keep it pretty saturated. Interesting. So it's like not really getting that much color, even if I kind of go dark like that. It's desaturated because the overlay layer, because the base layer is a light gray. So, I can't really get good base colors like this. We'll keep going. But yeah, I can't get good base colors like this. Unless I establish the value on the grayscale right away. That's what it is. Because there's a starting value for the red coat, and it should have been that the skin color should have been lighter already than the rest of the stuff that was there. I should try to be, if I'm going to do a grayscale, I should already be establishing the value. So the reason that happened is because when I was, the technique I'm modeling this after, it was an armor drawing. So everything's kind of the same material. Now, since I'm working with not necessarily different materials, but different colors, I have to take into account, if I'm going to do grayscale, the darkness of the color. I got it. I could go back and fix that, actually. So what I could do is make another layer here and call it a multiply layer. Make that a multiply layer. Let's get in here. And so everything, I guess, the skirt, the shirt, and the coat and the hair would be darker. So let's try that. So in this color multiply layer, we'll call this multiply. And we'll just get in here. Let's just use a darker gray. Take this, I guess just double the midtone. Yeah. This is right. This is right. Yeah, and I'm still preserving the shadow layer that I did by using a multiply layer right on top of it. This was an emergent solution. I didn't plan on doing this, but I think it's kind of going to work out. I can just erase. So everything that is coat, shirt, shorts is gonna get this multiply layer. So this could have been prepped from the get-go if I knew that this technique uses color value as well, or have to take that into account. I'm not really great with color value, but I think maybe it'll be good practice for me to do this more. So it would be all this entire top outfit, I guess. Yeah, like that, and then skirt down here. Just not doing the sorry, the shorts down here. Just not doing the skin. And I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing with the other character. Okay. Okay, got that out of the way. So let's see now what happens to the overlay. Yeah, that's a lot more accurate. Oh, the hair too then. I missed the hair. Because the hair is like not dark, but darker. And we can do that. I'm probably going to call it soon on artwork and then just fire up Uber Eats for the next couple hours. Just so I can get some work done and make some money today. Because this is what's called in accounting unearned revenue. I got paid first, and then I just got to finish the work. It's not quite as satisfying to turn unearned revenue into earned revenue, but it is important. That's why sometimes I prefer payment at the beginning and payment at the end, because it feels like there's some unearned revenue already earned, and then there's some, I mean not earned, but already in the bank account, but still more to be earned. And I think it just feels more satisfying that way, to do a half and half. But there's more security in the funds if I do it this way, where it's all at once. So let's look now. Yeah, there we go. So the overlay layer is now capturing that color. So let's go back in here. Let's turn this to a normal layer. Let's grab this color. Go back and turn it into an overlay. Yeah, because overlay layers use value. It's like a combination between multiply and like lighten. Because you can make things darker or you can make things lighter. It's kind of a catch-all. So we'll go with that. Yeah, we're getting pretty strong color here then. That's nice. Yeah, pretty unusual way of coloring, but this allowed me to get those shadows in. done this before. It's just so many steps, you know? Yeah, so for this, I'm gonna want to merge, because I think once I got the colors in, I'll merge and I can just play with the colors. I think, honestly, the Holy Family painting had a better approach where I pick the colors and then I do value scales for each one. I think that's gonna have a better result. I mean, this looks a little bit flat because I'm just using gray. So yeah, again, we're just going to continue to evolve in our process. And it's not really getting me the highlights. So I think once we do this, we're going to transition back to the, you know, the normal method. I do like how sculpted it looks, you know, but even with the multiple layer, it's such a strong crimson color. Because with the multiple layer, I kind of lost the depth, didn't I? But then here I still have the shadows. Let's mess with the hue and saturation of this layer, because I think it might be too dark. Saturation, yeah, we can turn that up. Turn up the brightness, change the hue towards maybe, not sure. I think the hue is okay. Yeah. Maybe the crimson color I used was too dark. Let's try this. See what happens if we do this. Yeah, that kind of had a decent effect. Okay, now let's do a dark blue. Get in here. Let's go very dark. Yeah, so it doesn't change the color enough, only unless there's like a shadow. So yeah, there's got to be a way to do this where I set the base color that's not in an overlay layer, because doing it this way is kind of weird. How about this? What if I change this to the normal, put this one on top, and then turn this one into an overlay? Let's see how that looks. Or a multiply. No, there's too much going on there. I don't know. How do I do this? How do I use layer options to preserve the shading that I did, but change the color? Unless I just take the base and recolor it? This is confusing. There's got to be a better way. Because this looks good. How do I just change the color of this? Let's look at other layer options. Yeah, overlay seems to be the good so far. Oh, whoa, these are crazy. What the heck is going on here? Color? How does that look different from overlay? Yeah, I think overlay is the way to go. I don't know. I'm very confused about this. I might look into it a little bit more, but I'm gonna take a break again. You guys can see me thinking out loud and trying to solve this problem. But we're gonna take a break and hopefully solve this soon. Talk to you guys later. God bless. Bye bye.